The following video is a review of the MetaQuest Pro from my own use case and perspective. I won't cover every single feature of the headset because I don't use all of them. This review is from how I see and like to use the headset. Please enjoy. In 2019, then Oculus would flip the VR industry as we knew it on its head. Oculus would release the Quest. At first it was unassuming, it was a standalone VR device that I initially thought would have been like the Go, but it was different from that. It contained its own hardware and could run actual real VR games, not just little self-contained experiences. What really sold the Quest to me is when I saw Beat Saber running on the headset. I had been playing Beat Saber for a bit when the Quest 1 initially launched, so I was enthused to see it running on such low-powered hardware. I mean, the internals are essentially a Samsung Galaxy S8 with a fancy enclosure and nice controllers. But this video isn't about the Quest 1, it's about its older brother, the Quest Pro. I stopped using the Quest 1 in late 2020 in favor of the HTC Vive. I never went to the Quest 2 either, so this will be my first Quest headset in a long time. Now, I've had a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth since the Quest 1. It was heavy, didn't run games all that well, and the PC support was a little lackluster. But it's been 3 years since that original headset launched. Has the technology improved? Is it better? And does it change my opinion on the Quest as a whole? Let's talk about it. The Quest Pro was launched in October of 2022 for an original MSRP of 1,500 bones. I never planned on getting a Quest Pro, but I always enjoy tuning into Meta showcases and keynotes to see what they've been cooking up. I was instantly turned off the device with the initial $1,500 price tag. Arguably, that was way too high. Later down the line, though, the price was reduced to $999, which is still a significant amount of money, but that's a $500 discount. My friend Falcon purchased a Quest Pro at the new low price and would not stop talking about it. I initially was skeptical about the Pro, but after looking at some articles, videos, and listening to Falcon rave about it, I decided to take the plunge and dive back into the Quest ecosystem. Standalone VR isn't something that I know a lot about. I'm a hardcore PC Index user after all, so this area really isn't something that I investigate that often. Because of that, I wasn't sure what to expect when the box arrived. Inside was the headset, 2 controllers, 1 controller power cable, a USB-C brick, USB-C cable, charging dock, and a few other goodies inside. Unlike the older Quest 1, the Pro doesn't charge from a traditional USB cable. While it can, that's not the intended method. It comes with this cool little charging dock for both the controllers and the headset. There are pogo pins that sit inside the cradles that contact the pads in the controllers and the headset. What I have noticed is that these pads can get dirty, which does prevent charging, though the headset and the controllers will make audio feedback when connection and charging is established. The controllers have internal rechargeable batteries that only will charge through the dock or the proprietary charging cable, which is a little annoying, but it's nice to see that Meta has gone with rechargeable batteries this time around. The headset's design is something that is completely foreign to most VR headsets that I've seen. It doesn't mount to the user's face, but instead mounts to the forehead, like the PSVR. The weight balance this time around is a lot better than the Quest 1. It's balanced in the front and it's pretty good in the back, though because of the design, the headset does feel a little tippy and can fall left or right pretty easily. The star of the show, though, is the 2 pancake lenses that cover the 2 mini LED 1800 by 1920 displays at 90 Hz. While it is an HP Reverb G2 resolution, the headset still looks really good. The pancake lenses are mind-blowing for the first time looking at them. Gone are the God rays of Fresnel, and in are super crispy clear visuals across the lens. Though there is a little distortion near the edge, but that's not a very big deal. Surrounding the lens boxes are 2 eye-tracking modules. Yep, this headset can track your eyes. And also your face. That's not something I knew when I originally bought the headset, and I found out when I got it. Moving towards the back of the strap are 2 integrated audio drivers, which are leagues better than the Quest 1, but don't sound nearly as good as the Index. There's a power button, volume rocker, and 2 3.5mm jacks for IEMs. At the back of the strap is the battery, a cushion, and a wheel to adjust the tightness of the strap. In total, there are 5 cameras for tracking, and one of those is a color pass-through camera. Pass-through doesn't look all that different from the Quest 1, but I don't really use it that much, so I don't have much to comment on for that. There's an eye relief wheel at the top which can bring the lenses closer and farther away from the user's face. Like the Quest 2, the microphone on this headset is solid. Nothing too special like the Index, but it still sounds pretty damn good. Da-da-da-da-da, mic test, something like that. All in all, the headset is very well designed. It's not too heavy, weighing 722 grams, and it doesn't feel all that uncomfortable. It's a little different design than most consumer VR headsets, so it does take some time to get used to. I talked a little about the controllers earlier, but now let's do a little more of a deep dive. As I mentioned earlier, they have built-in rechargeable batteries that are not user replaceable. Instead of using the tracking rings from the last 2 generations, there are tracking cameras on the controllers this time around. At first, I wasn't too optimistic about the tracking quality on the controllers, but after using them and hearing what Falcon had to say about them, I am more than impressed. The tracking quality feels almost the same as lighthouse-based tracking, which isn't something that I was expecting. The controllers do take a little time to wake up and connect to the headset, and once the connection is established, tracking does take a little bit to initialize. The controllers are heavier than Quest Pass, but the weight feels good in a sense. It's hard to explain, but it's comforting to know that the controllers have some heft to them. I'm not entirely sure on the durability aspect of these, but I've dropped them a few times and they seem to be working fine still, so... To charge these little things, either connect the one included charging cable or slap them onto the dock. I would have liked to see Meta include a second controller charging cable, but at least we got one? But what's a headset without software to run on it? The Quest Pro is a standalone VR device and as such can run the entire Quest backlog of games. I only own 4 standalone games, Beat Saber, Robo Recall, VR Chat, and Bone Lab. I don't do a lot of standalone VR as I have a PC that I can connect to. One thing that the Quest can do is link up with a VR-capable PC through either a Wi-Fi connection with AirLink or a wired connection through Oculus Link. There is a third wireless option with Virtual Desktop, but I've never used it before. Wi-Fi signals don't travel very well where my room is located, so I always end up going for the wired connection instead. I can't speak about AirLink, but I've heard people have had good luck with it over a Wi-Fi 6 enabled network on the 5 GHz band. As for the cable link, that is what I mainly use to connect the Pro to my PC. To keep the headset charged while using it, I opted to ditch the official link cable and use this third-party one, which allows me to connect a USB-C charging brick to help keep the battery charged while playing. And battery charge while playing is something that is a little bit of a weak spot with this headset. The battery drains very quickly when on link or in standalone, especially with eye and face tracking running. The longest time I got on standalone was about 2 hours while playing Bone Lab. On link, I got about 3, and that was without the special charging link cable. As for the actual link itself, it's gotten somewhat better since I got the headset back in April. At first it was a total crapshoot, but the PC client has gotten some updates which has smoothed out the process a little bit. There are still some crashes here and there, but overall it's been somewhat stable. I've heard from other users that they've had issues with cable link even on the official link cable, so I know it's just not me. Maybe it's a little more stable over AirLink, but I don't have a good enough Wi-Fi network to handle that. But has this headset turned me, a hardcore PC Index user, over to the Quest ecosystem? Yes and no. I've been very impressed with how the technology has evolved. Going from a crapshoot headset to something of this quality is impressive. But has this gotten me into a more standalone VR interested space? Yes! But on the PC side of things, I'm still opting for my Index, even though it looks worse and is way heavier. The Steam VR tracking problem isn't that much of a problem for me either. It's easy enough to sync together the play spaces and use Steam VR controllers and trackers on the Quest Pro. But it's the stability while on link that is a real killer here. Some days it's perfectly stable and other days it's a total mess. It's hard to use the headset when the software still feels very half-baked, and this is from people who still use the official link cable as well. There are visual glitches here and there while in standalone mode. Maybe that's just me, but I've heard of other people having the same issue. Even when I turn all the lights on in my room and bring out a frickin' spotlight, I still lose tracking frequently while moving around. Overall, I really want to like this headset, but it and the software still feels very half-baked. I feel if a few more software updates come out that fix these larger outstanding problems, the Quest Pro will be a little more appealing to the consumer. But as it stands now, it feels unfinished. 7 out of 10, face tracking is cool. Hey, thanks for watching this video. It took a lot longer than I was anticipating, but I'm happy it's finally out. If you enjoyed this style of video, please let me know in the comments. It's certainly been a challenge to make, but it's been very enjoyable. Shortly after finishing writing this script, rumors came out saying that Meta is going to shut down production of the Quest Pro after parts supplies run out. So, wow, I'm a sucker for buying this thing. Thanks for watching.